Check. Check. Ma'am, are you able to hear me? Ma'am, am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Okay. So students, you know why you're sitting here today, no? Actually, we have classes only on Tuesday, but why are you sitting here today? Because there is some classes for so we thought that we have two inputs we can for the ones who are at the previous one. So what is the distance? Make sure that you have with that in the picture. And first introduce there are four participants in each one. If you can comprehend, to make sure say what you want. Ma'am, I hope they are audible, right? So
Yes,
Okay.
you are.
okay, ma'am. So you're going, ma'am, going to discuss the previous chapter. This is what we if you know the answer, have a good interaction. Okay. And those who have not attended previously, make sure to outside. All the discuss. Now we can start.
Okay. Good evening, students. I believe I'm audible as well as visible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, first of all, tell me that you have just come to class 11th. I understand that. Have you studied 9th or 10th thoroughly? What is the status of 9th and 10th for you?
Pretty sure, pretty confident about
Pretty
10th standard
confident?
portion. About 10th
Hmm?
standard portion. About 10th standard portion, 9th. Okay, almost can make it.
Okay. Sometimes the most, see, we are a science students and we must understand that it's not, the science is a precise thing, right? So we must know the differences and we must understand each and everything, right? And it has to be precise. There are two reasons for being precise. The first is that you might have seen the rocket launch, right? Or recently you might have heard about a submarine which has gone to visit the what we call it as wreckages of the Titanic. Have you heard about it? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
It has doomed. Why?
And because of the water pressure, it couldn't
Water
hold the pressure.
it cannot hold the pressure by only a very small margin, isn't it? So precision plays a very important role in science, even if we talk about biology, you must have seen kids with the genetic disorders. It's just that one code is missed out, right? Similarly, in chemistry, if we say if we replace sodium by potassium, what will happen? Do you know? Sometimes you might have heard that anybody is suffering from high blood pressure. Anybody heard about this situation? No. Okay. What is your normal salt contain?
Sodium chloride.
Sodium chloride. So what the doctors do for decreasing the blood pressure, they ask them to replace this sodium chloride by potassium chloride, right? So replacing one element of the salt can do a lot of changes inside body. So that is the purpose. I wish each one of us talks in a precise manner. I'm not saying that you, but many a times we fumble a lot, or we mix up with what is an atom, what is a molecule, right? Especially when we solve the questions about the mole concept. So today, first of all, let us set the tone of the class by understanding what are we going to do. You may find it that you have done it already, and you may know it already, but still we have to repeat certain things for the betterment of us. Because some of you might be looking forward to do the graduation. Some of you might be willing to join the medical or the engineering students. Everyone has somebody might be wanting to crack the UPSC exam like that, right? So because for that, suppose if you have learned 2 2s are 4 in class nursery or first or second, whatever the grade might be, but we repeat that every year, isn't it? Whenever we are solving a numerical used in any question, or even if we are paying money to any seller, we need to do those multiplication and basic things. So let us first start by understanding what was there in class 9th and 10th, and how and why it is important for us to learn them. I'm starting my PowerPoint presentation. Now, can you see it or not?
No, ma'am.
You cannot. Okay. Is there somebody around you to help us? Somebody from technical team? So even without that, let me tell you what I have to tell you, that till class 6th, what you were studying only the basic things. Class 6th, which subjects do we study? Any idea? Sir, I need to share my PPT, and I need that authority from you.
Post, ma'am. So you can share the screen. Just click share screen option.
No, it is not. It is okay. Now I can see. Now I can. Okay.
Now it's visible.
Okay. Okay. So see, till class 6, what we used to study was environmental science, right? Science was not a separate subject. As we grow, they changed the subject. The science was further divided into physics, chemistry, and biology. So we'll be focusing on chemistry only here in this class. Talking about class 9, now I request each one of you to read the list. This is the latest syllabus which I have from NCERT for from CBSE rather for 23-24. Now, can you tell me, is everything clear? If I ask any question, see, because making you understand certain concepts First of all, I need to understand what do you know? Anybody having any doubts about any of the concepts listed here?
No, ma'am. Everything is clear.
Everything is clear. So can you quickly
ma'am.
tell me the formula of calcium nitrate?
CaNO3.
Anybody who differs from the, what's your good name, student?
Amrisha.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. The answer which I got is CaNO3. How many of you disagree with it? All of you agree? Okay, great. Now, I don't agree with it. Tell me the valency and the symbol of calcium and nitrate.
Mom, it's CaNO3 too.
Can you
CaNO3 twice, ma'am.
CaNO3 too.
CaNO3?
The whole two.
2. Then why it was NO3 only at first place?
She got the valency wrong.
Okay. What is the valency of phosphate?
1.
Okay. That means what will be the formula of sodium phosphate? See, they are relevant to class 11. Schools must have started certain chapter. That is the first chapter they must have started. And in some schools, they must have reached up to the mole concept, right? Mole concept is you have to know the molecular formula. Only then you can find the molecular mass of a particular compound, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that since you said that you know that, and these are the pretty common things. Therefore, I started from it. So talking about sodium phosphate. If you look at your class 9th, should I answer it or should I wait for 1 or 2 more minutes?
Ma'am, NaPO3. Sodium phosphate.
Okay, if you say NaPO3, I say only Na is correct. Valencies are also incorrect and PO3 is also incorrect.
Mom, valency of phosphate is 3.
Okay. Do you know the difference between valency and oxidation state? Okay, take another compound. Let's tell me the valency of this sulfate and sulfide. Sulfide.
Ma'am, SO3 and SO4 and SO2.
With the valency, sulfate, tell me one by one, please.
The balance number. The balance number.
Sulfate is SO4 2 minus.
Again, my question is, what will be its charge? +2 or -2?
-2.
Minus?
-2.
-3.
No.
SO4?
-2.
Okay. SO4 2 minus. Sulfite?
SO3 2 minus.
Okay. Sulfide?
S2 minus.
Anybody having any difference of opinion?
Ma'am, SO4 minus 1 இல்லையா? 2 minus.
That's it. SO4 2 minus I have put also. What was your name? The student who told me these three?
Ananya.
Hmm?
Ananya.
Ananya. But has somebody logged in by the name of Ananya?
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually attending online class.
Okay, you are attending online, then I'll appreciate if you can just open your camera also.
Yes, ma'am.
The rest of the students who are sitting in the classroom, have they do they know it? Are they agreeing with it or not?
Ma'am, first one is correct, ma'am.
Yeah, first one is, and what's your good name? I will
Ma'am, Raghav.
try Raghav. Okay. First one is correct. What is the fate of the second one?
Ma'am, SO2 2 minus for the second one.
And for the last one, the sulfide.
Ma'am, SO3.
And what about the rest of the students? I can see 5, 6 faces there. What is your opinion about them?
Ma'am, I agree with what is written in the board.
Who's that? Can you tell me your name? I prefer, please tell your name also.
Amrisha.
Risha.
Amrisha.
Amrisha. Okay.
Ma'am, it
So
is
my
correct.
it is correct. The whatever is written on the board is, or the white PPT is correct. This is, you have to learn sulfate, sulfide, and sulfide. Remember, you have moved from class 11th to, or from class 10th to 11th, right? And they will be asked pretty frequently. Okay, now can we discuss what about this phosphate? It is incorrect. Anybody can correct that, can correct this or not?
It's Na3PO4.
I'm asking phosphate equivalency. Ananya, if you are having your mobile or any other device, please put it separately.
No, I don't have it. I'm actually writing it.
Okay. Okay. What is the formula of calcium chloride?
CaCl2.
Very correct. Now, with the help of this formula, can you predict the valency of calcium and chlorine both?
Valency of calcium is 2.
And that of chlorine?
1.
Everybody knows how to find the valency of the element in the present in a compound if the correct formula is given to you. Please say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, when Ananya said the formula of sodium phosphate is Na3PO4, then what is the problem? Why are we not able to tell, why all the entire class is not able to tell me the valency of phosphate then? Do you remember the crisscross method which was taught in class 9th for writing the formula?
Valency of phosphate is 3.
Is
3.
3. Simple. Valency, see formula, when you are stuck out that you are not able to find the valency, what you have to do the reverse thing, the way you wrote the formula. Sodium we know 1 and Na3 means it is crisscrossed, so that means what we have written actually Na3PO4 1. So the valency, since it is crisscrossed, valency of phosphate is 3. Any issues in that? Is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now give me the formula of aluminium phosphate then. Do you know the valency of aluminium?
Aluminum is 3.
3, ma'am.
3. Then the formula of aluminium phosphate will be
AlPO4.
correct. So why it was taking so much of a longer time? So this is one concept we must see. I don't know how you people have learned the valencies, right? Whatever trick you may have applied, do it thoroughly, revise that page or sheet again, or go back to NCERT, or whatever valency you do not know, you can post a query. I think the center must have provided you with a ID where you can post your queries, right? Because without this, it will be pretty difficult to carry on further and do at least the 11th standard level questions, right? Now, whenever you write the compound, I think this is one of the very basic rules. What is written first for ionic compound? Do you know that? Whenever we are writing ionic compound, we write cation and then anion. Take any example. Whatever we have done till now, if we write magnesium chloride, copper sulfate, I believe the us and ik suffixes are clear to you, or any doubts in that?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am means no doubts, or it has doubts.
No, ma'am. No doubts. No doubts about that.
If I am writing ferrous chloride, if I am writing ferric chloride, right? And I am writing cuprous chloride and cupric chloride. Can you give me their formulas?
Ma'am, cupric chloride is CaCl2.
CuCl. Okay, CuCl2 and cuprous chloride is?
CoCl3. Ma'am, CoCl3. CuCl.
Is it Cu2Cl?
See, I tell you one thing, if we know the valencies, that is what from where I begin my class, I still say we need to be 100% sure. You people said us and ik is clear to you. So if us and ik is clear, valency of copper is known to you or not? Or do you know when we use the us and ik wala concept? Okay, let me ask you one basic question. Have you heard about the names of these compounds?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay, very fair. Like I was just going through one model paper where they say that coagulation of blood can be done by one of the iron compounds. What it will be, write its formula. As all of you know, that CBSE has decided to go ahead with NEP type of a paper. That means that we will be having a application-based questions more importantly. So our learning graph or learning abilities have to move from here to higher state, right? So we need to know the concept and then we have to know the applications also. Like LM. Do you know what is LM? Or what do you call it is in your regional language? Or do you know it's any use?
Ma'am, can you repeat that? What that word?
Hmm?
Ma'am, can you repeat that word? Like
LM,
alum.
ALUM.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Ma'am,
I don't know the word in your regional language, but I understand it is found in many homes. So whenever especially the boys or the men of the family use the razor and they have a minor cut, to stop that bleeding, they have a white solid type of a thing kept there. We call it as LM in English. In Hindi, it is called as fitkari. Have you seen that?
yes, ma'am.
So that is used as for blood clotting, clotting of blood. They ask you the formula or the main metal present into it. This type of a questions CBSE has started preparing. So we need to gear up about it. We need to be, I am very happy with that you were aware that what happened to the Titanic submarine and all those things. You must be knowing about what is different types of diseases and many things you must be knowing about it. So please try to read the newspaper, especially the articles which involve chemistry, right? There is chemistry everywhere. Coming back to the concept of arsenic, just in a fraction of a second, let me know whether you know this or not, or whether you have forgotten it. It will take me only a minute to explain it to you.
Ma'am, can you explain it?
Yeah, I will surely do. See, us and egg, these are this first of all, see, I prefer to teach in such a way, and I prefer to teach with reasons where a particular concept is applied and preferably with the why. You might not be aware that elements are classified into groups. There was a periodic classification chapter earlier in class 10th, which is removed and moved to class 11th, right? Why the classification is required? There are 118 elements as of now, which are certified by IUPAC. IUPAC is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemists. In a lifetime, we cannot know about all these elements. So they classified into different groups and periods and block. And they have a different characteristic. We will all together take it in a next, when we take up the chapter number 3 for your book. They noted there are certain elements which have variable valencies. They do not show 1, but they show 2, 3, or 4 valencies. Example, or the common example which I was expecting you to know, are iron. Remember, iron is pronounced as iron and written as IRON. At times, I also pronounce it as iron, but the correct word is iron. So we should try to say it iron as far as possible. Iron shows 2 valencies, +2 and +3. Copper shows +1 and +2. Tin. Can somebody quickly tell me the symbol of tin? Okay. Tin is SN. It also shows variable valency. There are many other elements. We will go into that later. The only thing is, since we are recatching, we are trying to catch up with class 9th, 10th before we move to class 11th. Only the topics which are relevant to them. So it is, the rule says the lower valency is always written by us and the higher is written as A. So if somebody asked me to write the valency of ferrous chloride, I believe we know that it is -1. If somebody has forgotten, they can always refer to sodium chloride, NaCl. That shows the valency of chlorine is 1, right? So what we do, ferrous, that means valency of iron, which we are going to use as 2 or 3. Can somebody tell me the formula of ferrous chloride now?
Ferrous chloride, ma'am.
Yeah, it is
FeCl.
FeCl
2.
2 and ferric chloride is
FeCl3.
good. Similarly, cuprous chloride and cupric chloride.
CuCl for cuprous and CuCl2 for cupric.
Is it clear now? See, it is, I have taken only these 2 examples purposely. Right, there you will be learning about arsenic +1 and +3. But you will be getting confused, that we can take up in when we are doing periodic classification. So this is the basic which I expect all dear students to remember till we are student of chemistry in class 12th, right? 11th and class 12th both, I mean to say. Now coming back to another concept, key, what else which we may miss in the class 11th or a class 12th? The chemical formula was one thing which just came to me. What about the isotopes and isobars, the things written here at the bottom of slide? Can you give me examples or definition of these 2? Why I'm asking you this is, I can back it up with my this thing. You can see the first thing, first chapter also has your isotopes and isobars, right? When they talk about atomic number, mass number, and atomic mass, molecular mass, everything, mole concept, percentage composition, there it is, isotopes and isobars are part of it, right? So, any idea what are isotopes, what are isobars?
Mom,
You read these?
isotopes have the same atomic number but different mass number.
Isobars are, you are saying isotopes.
Isotope.
Anybody in else in the learning room center who can help me understanding what is isotope, what is an isobar? I just
Ma'am,
see,
can you hear me now? Isotopes are different versions of the same element with same atomic number, but different mass numbers. For example, carbon 12, 13, and carbon 14.
correct. What was missing?
Isobars, I'm not sure.
Okay, that is correct. I'll always appreciate if you have forgotten, you must, I believe that once you said that you have read those things, you must have read that. Maybe at this moment you are not able to recall them. This is another aspect. As a student, you must do this activity. Because exam may, how will you be judged after the end of the year? Or in the middle of the year, or even once your school open, maybe now, you must, every one of you must be having your own schedules when you are going to have your exams. So they examiners judge the student only on the basis of what you have written in the copy, right? So we must have a periodic system of revising the concept, like the institute does, which I understand they give you the periodic tests. And after, say, suppose chapter 1 is done, we will give you a test on chapter 1. 2 is done, we will give you a test on chapter 2. But who is going to ensure that chapter 1 is still there? You must not forget it. So the students are advised from my end to have their own calendar and schedule, so that you visit whatever you have learned in the previous classes at least once in a month, so that the concepts are revised, right? Atomic number, what you missed, Ananya, in your definition was that these are the atoms of same elements, right? Any definition has to be complete, meaningful, without no extra words, right? So isotopes are the atoms of same element with different atomic masses. Now, what causes these different atomic masses? How they differ? Why do they differ in different atomic masses? Any idea? They must be having something similar, something different. See, we can say carbon, the example you gave, that we can take that one also, or we can take hydrogen, the most simplest one, protium, deuterium, and tritium. Do you know these? Have you heard about these names or not? Please respond if you have heard or not about the names. Again, this is a
Yes, ma'am, we have
this
heard
is
of it.
you are
We have heard of it.
okay. So please put it on your recalls. Work on the recall of your memories. It will help the scoring marks in every subject. Now, if I talk about the proton, electron, neutron, each one of them is going to have same number of protons, same number of electrons, but this will have no neutron, it will have 1 neutron, and it will have 3 neutrons. This is tritium. This is radioactive. If you will remember that, we will be good to go. We will be good in when we are doing the chapter named as hydrogen itself in your class 11 syllabus. This one is deuterium. Which we normally know it as hydrogen, right? And the first one is protium. There can be a question that name an atom which does not have a neutron. So answer.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay, an atom which does not have a neutron.
Hydrogen.
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. For class 9th student, hydrogen is perfectly fine. But for class 11th, it is incorrect, because
Protein.
they have to understand that, as I told you, as that for us, deuterium is hydrogen and it does have 1 proton, sorry, 1 neutron. It is protium, one of the
Protium.
isotope of hydrogen, which does not have a neutron. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
So don't think we are talking about 9th. I'm trying to make you understand the value of 9th. More you remember, recall your class 9th, easier for me and you. The journey has to be done together. It will be easier for both of us to build that concept. Talking about C6, the carbon isotopes. I don't remember the name of the student. Who was that who told me the isotopes of carbon? Just tell me
Sitesh,
your name.
ma'am.
Satish. Okay, good. That answer was
Sitesh,
correct.
ma'am.
Huh?
Chitesh, CHI.
Sitesh.
Chitesh.
Okay. I believe I am saying correct, Sitesh. So the
Yes,
carbon,
ma'am.
okay, thank you. Carbon, as you said, it has C6, it has C12 and C14, sorry,
14.
C13 is also there,
Yes, ma'am. C12, C13, 14.
C14. C14 is said to be the radioisotope.
Radioactive element.
Yeah, a radioisotope or radioactive atom, not element. Element is carbon. So please try to make it a habit where,
Radioactive isotope.
yeah, radioisotope or radio, that's fair, Sitish. Radioisotope of carbon is there. What is the use of this carbon isotope? Do you know? We say this particular monument. Tell me some old building of your own city, which is said to be 100 or 1,000 years old.
Ma'am, Bragadishwara temple.
How do you, how many years they claim to be, it is old?
Ma'am, carbon dating.
Carbon dating, how it is done? Do you have any idea about it?
Ma'am, by analyzing the carbon in it, carbon compounds in it, and dating how long ago that compound was formed.
What's your name?
Ma'am, Raghav.
Raghav. See, Raghav, what you're saying is partially correct. Like if you have to, somebody, if you don't tell me your age, how can it be determined? The age of a substance can be determined on the basis of the amount of C14 present in it. To give there is a chapter called as chemical kinetics in class 12, but just to keep your interest intact into it, I'm telling you that whenever there is a court case, people need to decide whether somebody is adult to get married or not. You must have heard about these so many things that the girl was proved minor or major like that. What they do is they take the content from the wrist from this particular bone and they find out how much carbon 14 is there. When you are born, you are assumed to have a certain amount of carbon 14 in your body. Most of the carbon is in form of C12. There is a particular ratio. Let that ratio be X. The medical legal team knows, I don't know, but I simply know that there is a certain ratio. As you grow, the carbon 12 at its own changes to carbon 14. So you can have a chart of this, that if initially at birth time, the weight of the child was roughly between 3 to 4 kgs, and then what is his age, birth, and what has happened to the X part of it, the carbon 14 and carbon 12 ratio, how much it has increased in favor of carbon 14. By that, they determine the age of the human being. And if you have to determine the age of the plants, you must have seen a log of wood, right? Log of wood has many concentric circles. Those circles roughly tell us, not to us, me or you, the scientist. They can tell us that they can count them or look into the formation of the xylem and phloems and tell that what is the age of the plant. So radioisotopes and isotopes are pretty important to us. Some of the isotopes you must have heard in class 9. They are used in the treatment of different type of cancer. Leukemia. Do you know what is leukemia? Leukemia is blood cancer. Goiter, deficiency of iodine, is treated by that. Now talking, what is an isobar? We have an element named as potassium, represented by K. It's not R, it is K. And we have another element as argon. Atomic number of potassium is
19. 19.
19. Argon is 18. And both of them have mass number as 40. Right? They are example of isobars. First of all, they are atoms of different element. In case of isotopes, we have seen they are the atoms of the same element. Oxygen also has isotope. Right? Barium, most of the elements have isotopes. At least 2 isotopes are known. We say their half-lives. Half-life means the time interval they spend on the earth or they live after they are formed is very, very small. They can be detected like carbon-13 has a very short lifespan. The tritium, radioactive isotope of hydrogen, is also having a very small half-life. So isobars are the atom. When you are defining them, I need, or somebody, the examiner needs the complete definition. They are the atoms of different elements having same number, they are the atoms of the different elements having same mass number. They will, of course, since they are the atom of different elements, they are going to have different number of protons and neutrons, proton, electron, and neutrons, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can refer to your class 9th book and you can further find it out. Now, can you tell me what is the proton, electron, and neutron number in them? Proton in this case is 19, so will be the electron. It will be 18. It will be 18. Number of neutrons will be 40 minus 18, and this will be 40 minus 19. Right? So what will be the number of neutrons in both of them?
21 and 22.
21 and 22 respectively. Right? So isobars are formed because they have different number of neutrons. Right? What do they see? That is again a basic and important question. Same was true for isotopes also. Right? In case of they have different number of neutrons, they also have different number of neutrons. But the things which is common to them, which is also different for them, is that they do not have the proton and electron numbers same. Potassium will have different proton and electron number, and argon will have different, right? Earlier there was a term isotones was also there in your book. Do you know what is the meaning of this word iso? You have heard it somewhere else also. Carbon compounds, isomers. So there must be something common. The word iso itself means same. Isomerism. Do you remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. They are the compound having same molecular formula, but different number of different structure, different properties, right? So iso word means similar or same. Now, anything else which you can see or predict for class 9th, which you do not know? What about colloids and suspension?
Yes, ma'am.
Everything else here is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Should I ask question? Differentiate between element and compounds.
Ma'am, elements are pure substances which are made up of only one kind of atoms, and compounds have many kinds of atoms combined in a fixed ratio.
And what about the mix? Air is a homogeneous or heterogeneous mixture?
A heterogeneous mixture.
It is a debatable thing. Some of the
Ma'am,
books say
when air is exposed to the outside world, it is heterogeneous, but when we seal it in vacuum, it's homogeneous.
correct. Now, when you burn, see, I have some camphor here with me.
Sublimation.
What happens?
Sublimation takes.
Sublimation takes place, but okay, this is correct. Now, can you see another diya in my hand?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the name? Name the process.
Combustion.
Hmm?
Combustion.
More specific one will be
Burning. More specific.
it is
Ma'am,
complete.
Uh,
I'm
yes, ma'am.
burning it in excess of air. Yeah, air itself means excess of oxygen. So burning or combustion are synonyms to an extent, but combustion and sublimation are not, right?
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
if I do one thing, it's too hot, I cannot handle it now. But if it is heating like this, I'm putting something like this over this one, right? Now, what is this process called as?
Ma'am,
Soothing. Soothe formation.
See, it has to be a process. It is a deposition of carbon, right?
sedimentation.
Should it not be condensation?
Ma'am, sedimentation.
Condensation.
Okay, why, okay, then let me show you one more thing. Can you see water into it?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I'm adding sugar particles to it. They're not dissolving as of now. Unfortunately, I don't have sand or anything which is insoluble into it. Assuming it is sand, what is happening now? Name this process then. If you are saying that was sedimentation, if according to you, this is sedimentation, right?
That is
Then what is this?
Ma'am, ma'am, this water is sedimentation, ma'am, and the soot is like condensation. I'm not sure.
No, you are correct, Raghav. I think I have, I named you correctly. You are Raghav, no? So, they look very similar. They look very simple. By this act, I prefer to teach chemistry in such a way that when you're solving NEP questions, you don't have issues. Like for condensation, many a times condensation where you have seen in your daily life.
Ma'am, in the rain. Ma'am, after rain. After the before rain. Before rain.
All of you must be drinking coffee or a filter coffee, hot filter coffee.
No.
Now you once it is hot, even if not drinking, somebody at your home or here in the institute must be drinking it. Take a half filled or a 3/4 filled glass of a filter coffee, right? And now,
There will be water droplets present if we close it.
yeah. So what is that? Is that
That is
not condensation?
condensation. Yeah.
You take out a water bottle from fridge once it is cooled. What is that?
Condensation.
That is condensation. Anyone loves to walk on a grass in the early morning? Have you seen the dewdrops over there?
Yeah,
What is that?
condensation.
There can be hundreds of examples. Is there any issue at the learning center or learning room?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, any example of freezing? Any example of freezing?
Ice
cubes. Ma'am, ice cubes in the fridge.
Okay, correct. And have you ever noticed, or if not noticed, take it as a activity. If you answer me correct, then fine. Else we will take it up as an activity to be done by you. You drink Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or any other soft drink?
No,
Do you
ma'am.
have it? Okay. Do one thing. Take a ice tray. Half of it, fill it with water. Other half, fill it with a soft drink, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, whatever you drink. Or if it is not available at your home, dissolve some water. Take half glass of water, put 3-4 teaspoons of sugar into it, dissolve them well, put it in the refrigerator, and then try to find out that which will take a longer time to freeze. Will they freeze equal in the equal time or not? Any
Ma'am.
idea to it?
Ma'am, I think the soft drinks would take longer to freeze.
Why?
They're a mixture of different foods. They have carbonated gas.
Ma'am, because of the carbonated gas present inside.
I didn't get your answer. Reason rather, I
because of
get because
Ma'am,
of
because
the,
of the gas present inside the soft drinks, it takes longer to freeze.
that's why I'm saying, don't take soft drink if it is the issue. Take a sugar solution.
It's carbonated.
Sugar solution and sugar and pure water. Have you ever tried to prepare ice cream, putting the milk mixture into the refrigeration, or you watched your mother carefully?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever realized that it takes longer time to freeze? Have you
No.
ever noticed that whenever, see, all of you must have bought ice cream from the ice cream vendors, right? What is the temperature of the ice box or whatever you want to say they carry in their carts or any ice cream parlor? Is the temperature same as your refrigeration or is still below that?
Ma'am, below that.
Below that. Why? Ice
Ma'am,
creams
because-
have, they see, we will do it separately in class 12, not now. Simply meaning to trying to put your attention towards the details in whatever is happening around us. This will help you a lot. Like this was a simple question. Camphor sublimates, everyone knows. But have you ever thought about when you watch a concert or sometimes in a movie or in a theater, they create a mystic effect that white fumes are just moving on in the background. How do they
Yes.
create that? What is that?
Ma'am, dry ice, ma'am.
Dry ice is chemically
Ma'am, CO2, frozen CO2. CO2.
dry ice, very correct. Dry ice is solid carbon dioxide, which sublimates, right? Another question for sublimation is that you put naphthalene ball in your clothes, right? Why?
Yes.
Because it sublimates is one reason. I'm looking for another reason.
Ma'am, can you repeat that question again?
I say when you store your woolen clothes,
Yes,
have
ma'am.
you ever, do you store your woolen clothes or the region where you live does not have such a chilly winter as Northern India has?
Yes, ma'am.
Not chilly winters.
You store woolen clothes or not?
No, ma'am.
No, you don't have to. Okay. If I tell you a fact that in northern India, once the winters are over in, say, in the month of January, people store their clothes. They put naphthalene balls. Have you heard about it?
Yes, ma'am.
Naphthalene balls में store करने का. Why naphthalene balls? Why not anything else?
Ma'am, ma'am, that compound keeps the insects away from the clothes.
There must be thousands of compounds. I don't know the brand name. There must be like, we have many mosquito repellents, right?
Yes,
We must
ma'am.
be having hundreds of tick repellents.
Ma'am, naphthalene balls are safe to use and cheaper.
Why? No. Even if they are costlier, and if you have to store at 10,000 rupees the jacket, you will be using them. It cannot be costing you 10,000 rupees, isn't it? Now imagine, see, this is a critical thinking type of a question. We know they are mosquito, they are insect repellents, but critically thinking, what would have happened that if you have stored a cloth and you have added naphthalene, you have added, let's say sodium chloride is a, or I'm just thinking of a substance which actually does so. If somebody says ki replace it by butter, butter is a mosquito repellent, assumingly. Will you do it?
Ma'am, no, ma'am. Now only I'm hearing about
Not
this.
until now, ma'am. No, ma'am,
Why?
because we thought butter was supposed to be a thing to eat.
I understand. It's supposed to be something to eat. I'm giving a clue why it can't be used. Why it can't be? Let's say there is a sugar crystal or there is a, I don't remember that, bitter gourd. If somebody says bitter gourd, if you have, will you place bitter gourd between it? Okay, let me give you the answer. The simple logic is, see, naphthalene is a sublimating substance. If you look at from the other perspective, had naphthalene is not been sublimating, then what will happen? Once it is put inside the trunk or the almirah with the cloth, it will acquire certain heat. Do you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
So what will happen? The solid naphthalene will change into liquid, and liquid may form a stain on the cloth.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are the two characteristics which, see, the question has to be framed like this and will be framed like this. What are the two properties which you must be careful, or what are the two characteristics which a substance must have if it is to be used for preventing the clothes and books from being eaten away by the moths? Number one, it must sublimate, right? Number one, it has to kill, it has to repel the insect. Number two, it must sublimate. Because if it does not sublimate, it will go through the liquid state and you can have your beautiful white cardigan or a white jacket spoiled by not by the mosquitoes and moths, but by the stains, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So till now, what you have understood We have not done any structured teaching, but say Raghav, what you have understood till now?
Ma'am, I've understood many topics on that, ma'am, class 9 portion.
More clarity. I have not
Yes.
revised. See, I am not going to revise. See, I believe I have not taught you the class 9th as in class 9th, right? I'm just trying to put your logical thinking caps, relating the content to the class 11th itself, right? Now, next one, what is colloid and what is suspension? Colloid and suspension is a part of class 12 surface chemistry.
Uh,
Colloids are heterogeneous mixture which has complete the particles suspended will be equal throughout the solution, but suspension on the other hand does not have that property.
Okay, to an extent it is correct, since it is to be taken up in the 12th. So I'll appreciate if you can go through them, revise your class 9th books before we reach to that state. There must be two terms, dispersion medium and dispersed phase. Have you been taught about that?
Yes, ma'am.
That is most important. See, whatever we eat, most of the things are in the form of a colloid. That is, milk is an example of a colloid. Dispersion medium and dispersed phase can be compared to solute and solvent, right? Dispersion medium medium is supposed to be big thing, right? And dispersed phase is a smaller. So you have a lot of liquid in which a fat particle is dispersed or the protein particles is dispersed. Sorry. So jelly, do you know what is jelly? Jam,
Jelly,
jelly,
yes, ma'am.
the red color strawberry sort of a thing. Jam, jelly, they are the examples of the colloids. Suspension, whenever there is a whitewash, or have you seen a whitewash, not the distemper wash, the whitewash, they dissolve one white colored calcium hydroxide into water. Have you seen that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that is a suspension. We can roughly understand suspension as whenever your mother prepares curd. When curd is prepared at home, you can see a turbid layer. Turbid, you understand or not? A dirty white, hazy sort of a liquid floats over the solidified curd. Have you seen that?
Yes, ma'am.
That can be compared to suspension, right? Now, coming to the next one, the laws of chemical combination. Any idea? They are there in your 11th syllabus again.
The mass can neither be greater nor be destroyed. And
The first
the number of
thing,
reactants is equal to the number of products.
I didn't pay attention. Can you please repeat it?
Ma'am, law of chemical combination states that the mass of the reactants should be equal to the mass of products,
Okay.
and mass can neither be greater nor be destroyed.
I believe you people must have studied two laws of chemical combination in class 9th. And class 11th, initially, maybe around 3 years ago, there were 5 laws. Now they have reduced it to 3. One was law of conservation of mass. The other was law of constant proportion.
Law
Any
of
idea?
multiple.
Law of multiple proportion, I believe, is in class 11. It's not in class 9. I'm talking about law, class 9 itself as of now. See, when you say mass can neither be created nor destroyed, rest of the, kindly tell me, have you heard and you know about these two laws or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is this law? E is equal to mc square. Have you heard about it?
Yes, ma'am.
What does that mean?
Ma'am, energy is equal to mass into constant square.
Speed of light.
Speed of light
Velocity of
into square.
E is equal to mc square, right?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
look at this formula that energy and mass are interconvertible.
Yes, ma'am.
So when we say matter can neither be created nor destroyed, right? We need to be careful in class 11th. We must remember it is not true for nuclear reactions. You must have heard about the war going on.
Russia and Ukraine.
Russia and Ukraine. What they do? They bombard. Whole of the building is lost, apart from lives being lost. What is happening?
Nuclear fission.
Nuclear fission or fusion takes place. What is the source of energy of sun? It is nuclear fission. 2 atoms of protium. We write it like this, H11. They react to give you the atom of helium. Or protium and deuterium react to give you another isotope of helium, and lots of energy is given out. Right? So the laws are not related to, there can be nuclear fission. This is nuclear fusion. Uranium, that Hiroshima Nagasaki bombardment, long back in the history books, you must have heard about them, isn't it? They are made up of fission of uranium. So remember, whenever you are writing definition in a class 11 and you want to have 2 out of 2, please put it. These laws are not applicable to nuclear reactions. Is it true? Is it fair with everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now tired of studying chemistry for such a long time? Be
No, ma'am.
honest. No. Okay, good. I believe we speak truth. So that is a sort of a recap. It should be, I say, eye-opener or indicator, whichever word you prefer, for you to go back to your class 9 books. Before that, can I ask, are your schools open or closed as of now?
Open, ma'am.
Open. You don't have a summer breaks?
It's summer breaks are over, ma'am.
Over. Okay. So when your exams are scheduled to be held in your school?
Ma'am,
It's going on.
next
Going on.
month. Next month.
It's going on. Friday I have chemistry exam.
What chapters they have covered?
Some first chapter half.
Some first chapter they have done. So you have practiced everything, molarity, stoichiometry.
That is not there up to mole concept. Mole concept is not there.
Mole concept is not there. Dalton's atomic theory is there?
Yes, ma'am. No,
Okay.
no.
Then what is there?
Actually, it's the first few topics in the first chapter,
Okay.
like significant figures,
And
accuracy, precision, and
significant figures is not in syllabus.
it is there, ma'am. At least up to my school.
See, that is the reason I have taken it the syllabus from CBSE itself, so that I may not significant figures were there earlier. Scientific notation can be taught to you, although it is not in syllabus now. But it can be taught to you because it helps in giving you the writing the correct answers in a proper format, I say. Like you do, if one thing is given in centimeter, other than one is given in meter, they cannot be taken up together. You have to first of all change both of them either to centimeters or kilometers or whatever the same unit is. So since it is not there, I don't know why CBSE has said that they are going to ask only this much. They have deleted it from the CBS NCERT books also. So I'll appreciate if you can ask them that they should not teach you the deleted syllabus, or what is the logic behind it. As I told you that scientific notations I can teach. I will also tell you to know. I will also like you to know about them. And talking about the significant numbers, they are there in the physics syllabus, not in chemistry one as of now.
It actually chemistry also does that. No? Chemistry also my school teaches. My school significant
So-
figures in
Okay,
chemistry.
They don't follow the syllabus.
Not very accurately.
Is there any reason? Are they preparing you for some other exams or maybe a state level or entry? See,
No,
everyone
it's not like a primary like main focus. It was just a small topic.
okay.
And I have
Nice.
laws of chemical combination, atoms, molecules, and
Yeah.
masses, mass percentage, empirical molecular formula,
Yeah,
and no mole concept.
okay. For class 10, the focus for class 11, first chapter focus has to be on this mole concept, and mole concept.
Not
Now-
until now. Not until
Okay.
now. They can start.
And rest of the class, they are having the exams next month. Have they
Yes, ma'am.
declared the syllabus?
Ma'am,
Have they declared the syllabus? They have given you the syllabus that on this particular day, say in the month of August or July end, they are going to give you an exam, a written exam for this. And the
no,
syllabus
no,
is
ma'am.
okay.
They haven't announced the date and the syllabus. We didn't get it.
Okay. And when is your half yearly exams expected to be?
Ma'am, around
December.
October, November.
Okay. And the final exams?
Final
March.
exam March.
March. And next session will begin in April then.
Yes, ma'am.
March.
Okay, March, April, that's almost like we have in Northern India. That's not an issue. Okay, quickly coming to the class 10, that should be much more familiar to you as you have just given the exams and maybe 2 months, sorry. ago. So chemical reactions, any issue, oxidation reduction, any day-to-day example?
Rusting is for oxidation.
Okay,
Reduction.
Any other?
Ma'am,
These are not sure.
ma'am, we're
Yeah.
not sure.
Deleted portion.
Huh?
Deleted portion, ma'am, in standard. Oxidation and reduction is not there.
Okay. Okay. But rest of them are there. Combination, decomposition, displacement,
Yes,
double
ma'am.
displacement, precipitation, everything was there. Any example of precipitation reaction
Barium chloride.
reacting with?
No, the formation of barium chloride. Precipitation reaction.
I mean, formation of barium chloride, it precipitates downward.
Okay, partly correct, but you need to have a complete reaction.
Ma'am,
Okay.
sodium sulfate plus barium chloride.
Gives you the precipitate of
Barium sulfate.
yeah, that is correct. Now, what about the acid bases salts? Bleaching powder, baking soda,
Yes, ma'am.
everything is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you heard about the monohydric acids, dihydric acids?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me an example of dihydric acid.
Ma'am, H2SO4.
Correct.
Sulfuric acid.
Yeah, sulfuric acid is the correct answer. And see, basically, whenever I just missed that point in between, that whenever we are taking up writing the names of the compounds, we always write metal first, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me an example of a compound where metal is written later. Non-metal or a group is written, anionic group is written first, followed by cationic group or atom. And you have read that compound. You write any compound, you will always have a metallic or the cationic part first.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me exception to this. Hint, it is a compound of sodium.
Sodium.
Yeah. In which you write the name like this. Na is written last and prefix as a anion.
Yeah, acetone.
Ma'am, CH3CO acetone.
CH3,
COO.
is it acetone? Who says it is acetone? If it is acetone, then what is CH3COCH3?
At least I remembered it as acetone, ma'am.
It's not true. What is this compound?
Acetic acid.
Correct. Then this is
Sodium
this is
acetate.
right. Again, it is an interesting NEP type of a question. So you need to go through your 10th standard book as well. IUPAC nomenclature, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Isotopes.
Yes, ma'am.
I have my own apprehensions because when you say this is acetone is this one, I have my own doubts. Then what is this compound? Common name or IUPAC name, whatever you remember. If it is difficult, then do this one. Do this one.
Ma'am, the second one is alcohol group, methanol.
Correct.
Second one is ethanol.
CH3COH. This is ethanol. There was one thing named as functional groups in your syllabus.
Ma'am, I forgot the name of the functional group, ma'am.
That's no issue. याद आ जाएगा.
Except that I remember all.
Okay. Then name of this compound. This is
Ketone, propanol, propanon.
propanol. Acetic acid is the common name. And the IUPAC name is
Ethanol, ethanoic acid.
Is there any student in whose school they have started with organic chemistry? Some basic principles of organic chemistry. There's a chapter at the almost at the end of the second book.
No, ma'am.
Okay, then it is fair because in some of the schools here, the people say that organic is a bit difficult and it is most scoring. They begin it from there. So homologous series, that's an interesting thing. How do a good definition of or a correct definition of homologous series?
Ma'am, a group of compounds which contain the same difference of masses is called as homologous series.
What is every compound, if you say that, has different molecular mass. What is common in them? If I want to put
Four.
sodium chloride, potassium chloride in same in one group and say sodium chloride, potassium chloride, magnesium chloride, copper chloride, they form a homologous series. Is it correct?
No, ma'am.
Then
Homologous series is where like a group of compounds like share a same molecular formula, like
No.
CH3.
no. You said, see, it's a random thing. What you said, same molecular formula, right? If the formula is same, the compound has to be same. So we need to be careful when we are writing. It's not that I'm pointing out to someone, I just have to catch. You have to speak and I have to correct if you are not correct. So they have, see, homologous series, you begin correctly. It's a group
Group
of
of elements, compounds.
group of compounds having same functional group. Precisely group of carbon compounds. That means methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol. All of them belong to one homologous series, right? Similarly, methane, ethane, propane, butane, they form the homologous series of alkanes. And I think you were confused with all of them can be represented by a same general formula.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you wanted to say that, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Like for alkane, it was CnH2n plus 2. For alkene, it is CnH2n. Alkyne, it is CnH2n minus 2.
Yes.
Right. Now, at the end of the class, I want you to give me the summary of the class and I want you to tell me what do you expect in the next class. Number 3rd question, what should I expect from you?
Ma'am, the start of the lesson, basic concepts of chemistry. From the next class.
We have already done. See, whatever we have done today, isotopes, isobars are part of the 2nd chapter. Molecular formula is there in chapter 1 for you. Unless or until you do the molecular formula, you cannot do the rest of the things. You cannot find work on the mole concept. Dalton's atomic theory I have purposely not touched. Because if I look at I'll prefer to go by the syllabus. anybody who has doubt anything in beyond the syllabus, as one of you said that your school is teaching the significant numbers, we can think of it if you want that. If you look at the syllabus, the first thing, general introduction, importance and scope of chemistry, that you can read. From the book, there is no science into it, no chemistry into it. They have given you different instances. One of them can be, which is there in your class 10th book, that in Qutub Minar, which is in Delhi, the iron pillar is still there for thousands of years. Like we have Corona, it has chemistry. We have solution to Corona, it has chemistry. We have Titanic, it is chemistry. People lost their life in Corona, again it is chemistry and physics combined. So this is what they have tried to give you different example, the historical perspective to the subject as chemistry for the first two things. The scope of chemistry is everywhere, like from cooking to your technologies. Like if you say that chips, not eating wala chips, but the chips is in as in your iPhones, phones and
Yes, ma'am.
computers. Everything has silicon type of a thing.
Silicon.
Yeah, every year they are coming with a lighter version of a, let that be television, let that be refrigeration. They are coming up with the sleek models of the mobile phones. So this is the modern version, as I'm saying, and they have taken the historical purpose. I'm not a history person who can give you much more example, but like calcium carbonate in Taj Mahal. And you might have heard about there is a Shivling in Ujjain. They used to every day, they used to pour lots of water, like they call it as Jal Abhishek in Hindi. I don't know what they do say in Sanskrit or any other language. They pour water on Shivling every day. Now it has started corroding. It has started deteriorating. So what they have done, they have put a coating on it and they have started using distilled water. Distilled water, I believe you know. Pata hai, do you know it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Distilled water is free for any contamination. It does not have any salt or iron. So they have started using it. So then forestry, afforestation, deforestation. So if you ask me that the scope of chemistry, even if all of you can make an exhaustive list, right? If you make only 15, then the list will be exhaustive. There may be hardly 5 or 10 common points, and that can be discussed or eliminated. I don't think that we need to touch first and second topics because there are no questions asked from it. We need to focus on nature of matter, laws of chemical combination, Dalton's atomic theory, concept of element atoms and molecules. That was the purpose, to make you understand. Remember, I left on the symbol of 10. Why? That was a concept of elements. To put in your minds that, go back to your 9th books. Remember the names and symbols of elements, or rather, as many elements as you can. Right? In class 9th, I believe, 9th and 10th, you might be asked to do it only for the first 20 elements or not. So we have to do the increasing of our horizons. Class 11th is much more similar to class 9th. Therefore, I have not spent any time on class 10. Whatever will be there, we will take it up in the as and when it comes. From my side, the perspective of the class is to set your mood and tone, to make you understand. If I give you an instruction, go through your class 9th book, will you honestly go through that? Tell me. Any answers from the class? So
Yes,
we
ma'am.
start. The request or the order or the homework is go through the concepts thoroughly, at least which are there in class 9th. So
Okay,
that
ma'am.
I can tell you the finer details and the important things about that. And more importantly, we must focus on answering the questions. So when you teach, I don't know about the rest of the subjects, but I can assure you, or I can tell you, the first thing is make you understand. The second thing is make you write. Remember that what we have done in last 1.5 hour is you knew most of the thing. That is a fact, right? But some of things you have forgotten or you were slightly confused. In both the cases, the first thing was done. Teaching was done, you have appeared in the exam. But still, if your recall has to be worked upon. Do you agree with it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So we need to focus on that. No doubt we'll be starting on chapter 1 next class. आप लोग whatever maximum you can revise and be precise in definitions. That will be good for you. There are two ways of saying it. You will be benefited twice. Twice means one, it will give you 2 out of 2 marks because you have written exact definition or the correct definition. Number 2, it will save certain time. Your chemistry, physics, maths paper is going to be only of 3 hours, the final exams, right? Or every exam will be having a finite time or definite time. So you can save us time on easier question to solve a difficult numerical, right? So with that, we conclude. Anybody having any questions so that we can conclude the class?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for being there. If you have any query, you can post it, right?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.